In the Fuzzy Memories podcast, we celebrate the good, the rad, and the fugly of the 80s and 90s.
We're three latchkey kids who made it out alive.
And in each episode, we break down all the culture that popped, 1 year at a time.
Whether it's the birth of legends...
I'm Lyme disease free today, and I have Whitney Houston and MTV to thank. Or audacious moves.
Imagine also the poor Golden Gate Bridge. You turn 75 and people have a party on you.
Yep. I don't want that.
Or even confusing PSAs.
And the stop, drop, and roll. I mean, I assumed as an adult I would catch on fire weekly.
All the time!
We've got a take that will make you laugh.
We've also got thoughts on all sorts of random phenomena and the most unmitigated of golf.
Why sharks can't be trusted, people can't be trusted, and rivers can't be trusted. It's collusion.
It's of the highest degree.
Uh-huh.
You were counseling me to start my remarks with, first of all, bitch.
Everyone in that room would have snapped to attention.
It's going to be basically coffee lids, shark revenge, and then maybe like Matt Getz. God, we need to do something about him.
Join us every other Wednesday to celebrate the hits, the misses, and the misfits of the weirdest decades.
If I could tell my 14-year-old self from 1990 that I would be eating in a Cheesecake Factory in
Beverly Hills,
I'd be like, we did it. We did it, Joe.
We did it.
Listen and subscribe to Fuzzy Memories on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform.
Hello, and welcome to Broads and Books, the podcast with one unique theme, 4 hand-picked book recommendations, and 2 broads. I'm Erin.
And I'm Amy, and this is episode number 18, Church Giggles.
Which made me laugh.
How would you define church giggles, Erin?
I would say laughing at inappropriate times.
For sure.
Uncontrollably.
Yes.
And or at inappropriate things.
Absolutely.
You know it's supposed to be serious, but you just can't keep it in.
Yeah. So this week, our picks kind of go off of that, where they're going to have you laughing, but also there's some tough stuff in there.
Yes.
So you may start judging your own reactions. Like, is this right? I don't know.
Is there something wrong with me?
Yeah.
I've
But there
thought that
isn't.
a few times.
The answer is there is not.
No.
Both
You just have the
to,
church giggles.
to the listeners and to you, Erin, there's nothing wrong with you.
Oh, thank you.
You're welcome.
I needed that affirmation.
So, Erin, church giggles, talking about inappropriate reactions. Do you have a story of a time with either a church giggle or some other kind of inappropriateness?
I wouldn't say that I could narrow it down to one story. I would say that church giggles reminds me of the fact that I often am the type that says inappropriate jokes at inappropriate times.
This is shocking and new information that I would
Something's
never have
awkward,
guessed.
I feel the need to really just insert some humor in it.
Absolutely.
And it's my own defense mechanism.
Sure.
And it's so bad that there are times in my head I think, don't say it, don't say it, don't say it, while it comes out of my mouth. And I'm like, I have absolutely no control. It came out of my mouth. I'm so sorry. And then I kind of laugh and nobody else laughs. And I'm like, oh, I'm going to go to
that
the bathroom.
real awkward laugh that like you're laughing at yourself and trying to diffuse the tension.
And then I get defensive and later I like tell someone like, I said this joke and it was funny. No one laughed, but it was funny.
Nobody as smart as me.
Yeah. Exactly. That's exactly right. No one's as smart as me.
Well, part of the name of this comes from my brother because
Yes.
we've talked about his tendency to just laugh at funerals and inappropriate moments, which he would totally agree to. I think it's more like it often happens at times when you're supposed to be serious, such as work meetings, where I have a real problem controlling my face and what my face should look like. If I am horrified, it's going to be clear on my face. If I am laughing at something that I shouldn't laugh at, can't control that shit. It's just going to happen. So it's real, like I've said before, it's a real good thing I work at home.
Yeah.
But video conferencing is making it difficult.
It's becoming a problem for you.
It's becoming a problem.
Yeah. And I feel like I know you well enough that in other situations when I've been with you and I've seen it flash across your face, or I've seen the look of like Amy going, I don't I don't think that that's right.
Yeah.
But, and then she's trying to like edit her face so you can see it change. Like,
it's so hard.
yeah.
It's real hard. I mean, but that's how we became friends.
Yeah.
You saw the look on my face.
Chip Lady brought out that face, and I was like, yes, that's my face, how I feel. I'm just hiding it better.
If you haven't heard that story, I think that was from episode number 4. Ride
It
or
was
Die?
Ride or Die.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah.
Go back.
Yeah.
Take a listen.
Take a listen.
Here's
to
some good picks.
Chip Lady. Come on. Come on.
So, Erin, what's the last thing you can remember laughing at so hard you cried?
Oh my gosh. This happens on a regular basis.
Does it? Okay.
I do
Yeah.
get to going
So you
pretty
laugh
good.
and cry at the same time?
Yeah.
Do you think like one emotion just starts the other?
Yeah, I'm
think
just
they're
prone to,
tied.
I cry easily just
Sure.
in general, like the real emotion of crying. So then the laughing can really make that happen too. But one time that comes to mind in recent is that Mike can usually get me to laugh really hard and then I can't stop. And usually that's at the mercy of someone else that we don't know. Like he's making fun of someone and then I can't control it.
Okay.
So I think it's a combination of like the church giggles and then
Yes.
like how true it is and we just start laughing. But we were on vacation and there was this person at the pool that had decided to put hope. They had the word hope as a tramp stamp, so a lower back tattoo. But then his
yeah.
swimming trunks were kind of down a little bit.
Wait,
so
this is a guy?
This is a guy. Yeah,
This is
I'm
a
sorry.
guy
I'm
that-
sorry.
yeah.
Yeah, that wasn't clear. Yeah, no, it's a guy. Yeah,
Oh.
and his swim trunks were down a little bit, and Mike said, "So that's the butt crack of hope." And then we were at the pool for the rest of the day with this guy, and I could not stop laughing. Every time he walked by, I'm like, butt crack of hope.
So Mike knows this about you and uses it to merciless advantage.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. He
Okay.
can sometimes do it even with just a face because I know we're both thinking the same thing.
Sure.
So, yeah.
Sure.
But I cry frequently at laughing, so that's a thing, I guess.
Well, I think you and I have done that many times.
I've seen you cry multiple times laughing.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. When you call me out on my David Bowie tell, I have had a few tears.
But I also feel like that's a combined cry for you. Like that's
is.
a just pure
Oh, it
joy
is. You're
and
right.
laughing cry.
You're right. It is.
It's like that's what's so great about it is your emotion. If people can't tell, that was pure. That was
Yeah.
unedited. That was just sincerely Amy being that excited.
Almost so much you pee a little. I mean, it's, you know.
That happens even
Yeah,
when I'm not
I
excited.
mean,
but
that should actually be part of the
oh,
title.
I just peed a little.
Church giggling and pee.
Yeah. Peed my pants. I can think of multiple times recently I peed my pants.
Laugh a little, cry a little, pee a little.
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah.
That's why poise is in business. So what's a time that you can think about recently that you've laughed so hard you cried?
Boy, you know what? It was one of your recommendations. AP Bio.
Yes.
Yes. If you haven't watched one of Erin's recommendations, AP Bio, seriously, what are you doing?
So good.
Get it on Hulu. There have been multiple times I've had to pause at, is it Heather, the girl with the glasses?
Yeah.
Yeah. There's a girl with the glasses, one of the students, that
Awesome
every
thing.
time, just tiny mannerisms, tiny looks on her face, things she says, I will have to pause and give myself a guffaw, like you have said in the past.
That was
A
great.
guffaw with some tears.
You could really go back and watch that entire series and just watch Heather, and I'm sure there's stuff you
God.
missed because she's hilarious.
And the times that she's imitating the teacher are absolutely glorious. I've only started picking up on that recently. Like,
Yeah.
oh, wait a second. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, there's layers. Lots
layers.
of layers.
So many great layers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
Good stuff.
yeah. So thinking about church giggles, about laughing through tears, through pee, through any really
Yes.
bodily reaction. Should we get to our picks?
Yeah, I
Okay.
think so. Let's
All
get
right.
some church giggles up in here.
Our first pick, fiction pick, is Eleanor Oliphant is Completely Fine. Did you choose the same thing?
It happened. Episode 18. It finally happened.
You know what? This week, as I was putting this together, I was thinking, there's a good chance Erin might choose this.
Yes.
But I'm going to go for it anyway.
Oh my gosh. That's
Oh
so
my God.
funny.
Look, unexpected dual pick. Well, then let's both talk about it. What do
Yeah.
you think?
Let's do it.
Okay.
That just proves how great of a book this is.
Oh,
that you
God, yeah.
need to go read this book.
Yes, because you and I often recommend different things.
Yes.
This appeals to a lot.
Yes. Yes.
So this came out in 2017. Gail Honeyman is a writer from Scotland. And I'll say what I think the story is about. You add as you see fit.
Perfect.
I would say that Eleanor's a loner. She reports to work every day at a mundane office job, and she does her thing. She doesn't talk to people. And then over the weekends, she works her way through a handle of vodka.
Yeah.
Wait, is it vodka or gin?
I don't remember.
It's a clear liquid.
Yeah, it's
a clear alcoholic liquid.
Yes, it's definitely
And she
alcoholic
works
in
her way
nature.
through.
Yes.
I think Eleanor doesn't really have any friends.
No.
She has a mother who will call her on a weekly basis and just harangue her for no real good reason. Got some self-esteem issues,
Yeah.
I would say. And then what
Yeah,
happens,
and I
Erin?
think because of her mother of that situation, I'd say part of the premise of this, of why I think it's a funny but seriously funny, has a serious twist, is because she struggles so hard with the social skills and normal interactions.
Yes.
And you kind of are led to believe that might be partially because of her relationship with her mother, but maybe there's a possibility she might be somewhere on the autism spectrum
Yes.
too. So she takes everything on a very literal level. So she doesn't understand a lot of society's norms because she views them as very frivolous or unnecessary.
Which is absolutely what you want. She says the things you want to say.
Yeah, that's what's so funny about it. Is like, you're like,
Yes.
why don't you get that? And then you stop and think, but actually you're dead on right. That's really stupid that we
Absolutely.
do that. So that's what the part of it that I think is brilliant and
Absolutely.
hilarious.
Yeah, she does, or she says the things she's not supposed to say, and she doesn't say the things that she's supposed to say.
Yes.
Which
yeah.
is brilliant.
And the things that when she says the things she's not supposed to say, she doesn't have any apology. She doesn't even realize she shouldn't say it.
Yeah.
So it's just out there, and then
Just out
everybody
there.
just has to deal with it because
It's
she's not
wonderful.
taking it back.
Yeah.
I like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And so plot wise, she one night she goes to an unexpected show. She sees a singer on the stage and she decides that man is her man. Like
yes.
the Romeo come to life. So then she starts kind of making herself into the woman that she thinks is lovable.
Yes.
She gets a makeover. She waxes her genital regions.
Which is a great scene.
She gets her hair did. And as she's doing it, that's where a lot of these comments come up. That's wonderful. She's kind of remarking on the silliness of everything. Like, why do we do this to our bodies? Why do we do this to ourselves? It's fantastic. Along the way, she sort of accidentally saves a life of somebody.
Yes.
Sort of accidentally makes some friends.
Yep.
And then there's some tough stuff, too. She confronts kind of a rough past. So what else do you have to say about it, Erin? What did you think about it as far as theme-wise?
I felt like it was so interesting to take this person and you're kind of working backwards to figure out where she came from. So when you first meet her, at first you're kind of put off because, as you would be, of someone, if you took this person and put them in real life, you'd be like, why don't you understand that? That's just how it is. But what's so brilliant about a character like that is that it makes you face it and say, well, yeah, that is kind of a ridiculous standard or a ridiculous norm that we've all just accepted. So I really like that. And I like the idea that we're left with. It could be the trauma that maybe caused part of her view. It could be that there's a level of autism there. And both of those are very difficult things, difficult topics, and that generally are dealt with in a different, type of genre or a different type of writing. But they're done in this way where it's just part of it. And it doesn't need to have all this extra attention. It's not really the heart of the story when it comes down to it. The heart of the story is really her figuring out how to be happy with herself.
Yeah, how to be a human in the world in a lot of ways, yeah.
And not just because she has to follow society's norms, but just how she wants to traverse her own life and what she wants it to look like and the people that she's met along the way and decided that are important. So from beginning to end, I thought it was great. I read it really quickly.
Yes, me too. And it was unexpected for me in that I did laugh out loud in a number of occasions.
Yeah.
You and I have talked about how rare that is, really, for a book, even if it's supposed to be funny, to bring you out of it that much. I also cried. I don't cry at books very often. So that was... You could tell both the writing and the character and everything was wonderful.
You do really like her as a character. Like,
you feel almost ownership or like, you want to give her a hug, even though she would not like that at all.
No, she would not like that at all. No, you do. You really want to, and you're rooting for her the whole time. And I think that's what propels you forward because you kind of have to know like what's happening with her. I want to know more, what's going to happen in the next section. So, and the fact that her literal view is so hilarious is really just a bonus to the story because the story is so great in and of itself. So
I picked a few of my favorite quotes
Oh,
from
good.
her.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yay.
So you'll get kind of why we like her. She, you know, as we said, she's odd. She's sort of curmudgeonly. She's snarky as all hell, but she just doesn't really see the value in being anything else.
Right.
One of her quotes, I have often noticed that people who routinely wear sportswear are the least likely sort to participate in athletic activity. True. When she's offered a drink, no thank you. I don't want to accept a drink from you because then I would be obliged to purchase one for you in return, and I'm afraid I'm simply not interested in spending 2 drinks worth of time with you. Damn it, I want to say that. Instead of trying to like coddle some ego or something. That's just
Right.
wonderful.
Yeah. It's just straight. It's to the point. And then people are just kind of left with, well, okay.
Okay.
Yeah. There's really nothing,
That's
nowhere
another
to
thing
go.
I loved about it is the reaction to people. Or the reactions people have to her is utterly wonderful. Like there's a couple people that they love it. Like they know she's super weird, but that's what they like about her.
Yeah.
And some people are just like, I don't even know what to do with this. But
Well, and it helps you almost separate right away people in the book that you feel connected to their character or feel like they're a real person because they see something in her or they see value there without dismissing everything. And I liked that. You know, the people that were drawn to her, you felt drawn to them in return because you're like, oh, you see, you know, like her boss very much values her and very much
Yes.
values her intellect and
Yeah.
doesn't care about anything else. And I think putting those characters in there too is a great comment on, you know, that's really where we should all be, is accepting people for what they are and just seeing what, you know, what's great about it and moving
Yeah.
on instead of being so concerned about tearing each other down to fit into some kind of, you know, sheep herd.
absolutely.
Amy's face. She's like, I didn't expect you to say sheep herd.
Again, it was a moment where I was like, I don't know what to do with my face,
Yeah.
but yeah, okay.
Yeah. Okay. I'm
That's
on
it.
board. All right.
We were talking earlier how Reese Witherspoon is buying up every
good book.
good book, and this is one of them
Yep.
that she's bought.
Make it into a motion picture.
Yes, which
Which
I
is-
think could be really cool.
It could be very good.
Yeah.
But you should read this book before it comes out.
Definitely.
For sure.
Yeah. We did do an episode a while back where we compared movies and books. This one might be a toss-up. Who knows? I could
yeah.
see it working really well as a movie with some of the dialogue,
Mm-hmm.
but then a lot of the interior stuff might be lost. Who knows?
Yeah. Either way, it's a good book. You should pick it up. Reese Witherspoon knows what she's talking about.
She does.
You should take that as an indicator. And we both picked it. First time. 18 episodes. It happened.
Yeah. I really did think, like, I wonder what the chance is that she was picked.
I actually
But
thought
then-
that too,
Yeah.
because you're the one that told me that it was really good. So I read it based on your recommendation, and then now here we are.
Here we are.
Yeah,
Oh my God. Well, I think we did pretty good for like having this be our first
yeah.
joint surprise pick.
Joint surprise. I like it.
Embraced it,
Surprise. Yeah.
moved on,
Mm-hmm.
joined our 2 write-ups
Yeah.
beautifully.
And obviously, just like Eleanor would say, well, yeah, of course you both picked it.
Of
It's
course we
great.
did. Yeah.
There's
Don't question it.
yeah.
Don't think
Why
too
would you
much
pick a
about it.
different book for this category?
Right. Yeah, that's actually what she would say. She'd be like, listen.
Yeah.
Come on, you know this.
Yeah.
This is the
I
only
don't even
one
know
to
why we're
choose.
having this conversation. I could be at home drinking my handle of vodka.
Which I respect.
I do too.
I respect her choices. Oh, there's also a cat in there.
There is a cat.
Oh my goodness.
Yes.
At that moment, I think I gave Podcat a hug, and she was looking at me like, "Yeah, no,
No,
not
we're not
right
having
now.
a moment
No,
over this.
No,
Yep.
no,
Oh,
I don't know what's
Podcat
happening."
left. I went
She
to
did.
I meant to make eye contact with Podcat, like, we love you. She's like, no, I'm not here for it. Nope.
Podcat was sitting here when we started recording, and then she's like, "Oh God,
Yeah.
you're doing this
Again?
again."
What?
God,
What day is it? Why can't I keep track?
I'm a cat. Why can't cats have calendars?
My negative review's not working.
Oh my gosh. Well, I mean, we burned through our fiction picks
We did.
because we both chose the same one.
Yes.
You know what I found too? Like, the fact that Eleanor worked in an mundane sort of office job was perfect, both for her character, because of course she's just doing something with numbers. It's very simple. But I think office jobs sort of lend themselves to some situations where there's just humor where you shouldn't be laughing, but you also should at
Yeah.
the same time.
Well, and didn't you think that was one of my favorite parts is that at one point she gets tasked with planning the office Christmas
God.
party, and she has to
Yes.
decide where they're going to have it. And her thought process about places that she's picking is so hysterical.
Yes.
Because you're like, oh my gosh, it's going to fail so hard. But yet at the same time, you're
wanna
like,
see how
all
this
of those
goes.
things
Yes.
are correct. That is what we should be doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things we were going to ask each other at the beginning was about if we could add humor to any mundane job.
Oh, yeah.
But we had already asked each other a few questions, so I decided to jump in. But we've got some time. What do
Yeah.
you think about that, Erin?
Yeah. Oh man, if I could add humor to a mundane job for my own entertainment, I think I would like it to be for the construction company. I often have to deal with a couple of compliance companies where they have to check into our insurance and stuff before we can work on properties, commercial properties. And it is one of the most infuriating, frustrating, scary experiences. I have rage like I in no other situation when I talk to those people. It's like it's like you're talking to a computer. Like they just give you automated responses, but it's a real person. So if there could be some humor in there, that would really make me, when I know I have to call them and be on the phone for 2 hours, that could really change my life.
Definitely.
And not just me making fun of them, because that's starting to feel sort of like I'm an asshole.
I would like it with like each, time they respond the same way or some way, like a sound, like a buzzer or a song.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
Do you remember Press Your Luck? No whammies, no whammies, no whammies. But I would always hope for whammies because they would do that funny cartoon thing. That'd be great. I'd take a whammy, just popping up on my computer, doing something weird. Love it.
I like that.
Yeah, I would be a lot happier.
For sure.
It would go a lot better when I have to go
Make you
all the way
dread
up
this
the
less.
chain to your supervisor.
Ooh. You are a boss.
I don't even talk to him anymore. I just say, get your supervisor. This is where it's going to end. So,
See, here's what I would like is, if on a conference call or something, each person that comes in is like has theme music, like, it's a song that just is announcing everyone's presence. I would especially like it if you get on those calls with compliance people and you're like, whatever song it is, and then give me your manager.
yeah, just happy and then just,
Yes.
I like that.
Announce your presence.
That's great. I
And
want
then
my
I would,
own theme song everywhere I go.
I don't know what my theme song would be.
I
Do you
don't
know what
either.
yours
I'd
is?
have to think
We'll have
about
to think
that.
about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll come back to you, listeners. We'll
Yeah.
we'll report back.
I know
on
we're
what our
probably
theme
going to
song
do an episode later down the line of something music related.
Oh,
That'll have to
definitely.
be our question. We'll
That's
have
a
to come
good
up with
point.
our theme song.
is. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good
And
point.
we should come up with a Broads and Books theme song too.
Oh my God.
And a podcast theme song.
Is the podcast theme song in English or in cat?
We'll get the translated version.
Ooh, yeah.
We need to know what she's saying.
We definitely do.
I don't
Maybe it's
wanna go-
bilingual. Maybe it's a little bit of meowing and then it's like,
yeah.
hey, bitches, stop
Yeah.
recording.
I hate you. I'm going to go shred this.
Come downstairs with me.
I recently went to see Secret Life of Pets 2.
Oh.
And there's a whole scene in there with some scary cats that are like real nice. And then they look at you and they're like, we start fires. And I was like,
Did you have some trauma in
I
that
did.
movie?
I did.
Like,
Well, I had
know what
trauma
this is
because I was like, you could just love it out of them, right, Pet Cat? I could just love it out of you. My cat's like, no.
No.
No. Not a chance.
Well, should we move on to some
Yes.
other picks?
I'm guaranteed we didn't pick the same nonfiction.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going to say, that would be real.
That would be weird.
That'd be real interesting.
We'd have to take
Yeah.
a break and just think about that for a little bit. Things
Then
have
like do
gotten
part
real.
one,
Yeah.
part
Woo! It got real weird in our ride and die relationship. We're having the same thoughts.
Hive mind.
Yeah.
This is not good.
Yeah.
Okay, my nonfiction pick is Yes Please by Amy Poehler
Oh.
from 2014.
That was on my list of
Was it?
options.
God, we're going to run into this a lot more.
I know. But that's
This is
all right.
dangerous.
That just shows how great the book is. So.
Yes, but I refuse to share picks ahead of time because some of the joy is in surprising each other.
It is. Yes.
Okay. So this is a memoir, kind of.
Yep.
Amy takes us through key moments in her past, like growing up in Massachusetts and moving to Chicago for improv, and her time in New York for Upright Citizens Brigade and SNL. And in the book, she's looking back on them while in sort of a tumultuous time in her life. She's going through a divorce. She started a new relationship. She has 2 young sons. She's working in every damn project under the sun. And what I really liked about it is she's very upfront about the fact that writing is hard. I think both Erin and I, we agree. Writing is hard. And when you get down to it and you could admit that, especially for someone like her who is extremely talented, that was really nice. She kind of likes to gripe about when she's going to finish the book, how the hell she's going to finish the book, why she should have never tried to write the book. It's kind of endearing in a lot of ways. I would say that it's a memoir, but it's also more because she's got lists in there. She's got like blank pages to write your own thoughts. She's got Seth Meyers contributing a few pages. I'm all in. I love some Seth Meyers.
You do love Seth Meyers.
Even her mom and dad contribute some words.
What about that?
Throughout, she's talking pretty frankly about what being a woman in comedy and in movies means. She even offers some funny bits about some of her favorite hosts on SNL, which is kind of fun. Theme-wise, I don't care what it is. I think you and I probably agree. Amy Poehler's a goddamn comedy genius.
Yeah, she really
with
is.
anything.
Yep.
But being able to weave that into personal story and sometimes being able to, talk about some tough stuff in her life, that's a skill and that's a hard thing to do. But she really does that. I like how, she's still thinking very much about her divorce, and she's listing like potential titles about books on divorce, like Divorce, 10 Ways Not to Catch It, which I thought was pretty appropriate. She even talks about our sort of theme about key mix of laughing and crying. She says, going from crying to laughing that fast and hard happens maybe 5 times in your life. And that extreme right turn is the reason why we are alive. I believe it extends our life by many years. So if you think about that for our episode, we've got like 5 picks. We're extending your life by 25 years.
Wow.
I mean, that's science.
That's a gift. That's a gift.
Yeah. One thing, if you don't like non-linear stories, memoirs especially, this may not be your jam. She's kind of jumping all over the place. She's not going to tell you everything about her life. But the things she does share are sort of heartfelt. They're funny. Also, if you're not familiar with SNL, maybe not great to read, but also, what are you doing with your life? Like,
Yeah,
that's a bad choice
That
right
is
there.
a bad choice. And you shouldn't admit it. Just read it.
Yeah, just
and
read it anyway.
Just start
And then,
catching it.
start just watching some SNL because I'm disappointed in you.
I am too.
Yeah.
Get on board. Come on.
You read it too? Do you
Yes.
remember anything else about?
Oh, I've forgotten when you said that about the part about her mom and dad contributing and Seth
Yeah,
Meyers.
yeah.
Yeah, that's what was great about it, is that it isn't just a straight across memoir. She adds a lot of, but that also gave you, it was almost more true to a memoir form because it made it feel really like her.
Yes.
I mean, it seemed like something she would write. It seemed very in line with what at least we anticipate her characters like. I don't know her personally. I wish I did, but whatever.
I mean, it's part of our goals, right? Our business
Right.
goals, our podcast goals.
Yeah.
Become friends with Amy Poehler.
Yeah.
Amy Schumer.
Yeah.
A.D. Bryant.
Yeah.
Kate McKinnon.
Yep.
Who else? Pretty much all the authors we've recommended. So we're really got a good, group we're trying to get into.
Yeah.
I see no problem with it.
No, I think it's going to go well.
Yeah.
I mean, if we can keep my stalker tendencies under control, I think we have a better shot.
Maybe I
But-
should do the talking at first.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good plan.
All
That's
right,
a good
great.
plan. I'll
Yeah.
just laugh awkwardly and make a
Yes.
weird joke that
maybe
you can apologize for.
Yeah, maybe after the first or second meeting, I'll let you talk, and
Okay,
then
that's
you
a
can
good
start
plan.
letting the crazy out.
Oh,
and,
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Or what we could do
I
is
see your point.
Yeah,
I'm going to say or.
or we could let a little crazy out and they might be endeared to you like, oh, she deals with this all the time.
That's true.
You could use it to your advantage.
Okay. We'll plot this
Just
out.
a little. I won't let it
Just
all
a
out.
little
Just
bit.
a little.
Yep.
That they're like, ooh, what's going on
And
there?
I'll have to be like, okay, Erin, calm down. So you can see that, like, I'm,
Yes.
oh, I'm so put upon.
Sorry.
Trying to yeah. Sorry about the
What are
other
you going to do
broad.
about
What are you
podcast
gonna do?
partners? Woo-hoo. She keeps calling me a ride or die, and I can't get rid of her. So,
I'm contractually obligated somehow. I didn't sign anything, but I don't know what it is.
how not to catch a ride or die? Am I right, Amy? Well,
What about your pick?
Well, my nonfiction pick this week is I Wear the Black Hat, Grappling with Villains by Chuck Klosterman.
Ooh.
Yes. So this is, if you haven't read anything by him, he's written a bunch of stuff. He's usually more of like a pop culture. He comments on that. He did one like specifically about rock bands. He does one kind of for each of the decades. This one was published in 2013, and it's a collection of essays that explore why we're taught to root for the good guys when in actuality, as a society, we're creating the bad guys. So whether that be through trauma, making them outcasts, casting judgments, why are we trained to always view the good guy as the end all be all, and that's what we should be doing, when often our actions are the reason that people are cast as bad guys. So, and it really explores why we're so set on categorizing people as good and bad. So it explores a lot of deep themes that way, but he is a very, very dry, very sarcastic, very snarky writer, very funny. So a lot of this, while you're thinking, yeah, that's true, that's really crazy, and, having like these real deep thoughts about society and what we've done, you're also laughing because he's talking about why he grew up liking Han Solo, but as an adult relates more to Darth Vader. It's great the way that he takes all those essays and brings it down to a level where you're really interested in what he's saying about it, or you're really intrigued about his own personal narrative story that goes with it, which is what makes it funny, but also what brings the point home. So he talks about why don't we see Batman the same way that we see Bernard Goetz, who is the guy that famously shot 4 people on the subway in New York in the 80s when they tried to rob him. Which that was so interesting to me because he was definitely villainized because he shot these people. But then, how many versions of Batman do we have? We love Batman. And it's essentially the same idea. So I picked it particularly for the Church Giggles episode because master at humor. I've read a lot of his work. Very, very funny. He asks some really difficult, painful questions at the same time, and he doesn't spare himself or his own answers. Like, he explores it through his thoughts about it. So he's not just making a point and then walking away like, oh, truth bomb, see ya. Like, he's willing to say, this is true in my own life. Like, I do the same thing. And putting the difficult topics like that through the lens of pop culture characters, it's funny, it's relatable, it makes it way more poignant. You're really invested and interested on that level. He has a whole story about this kid that he's hated since like 4th grade, and he really examines why he's still obsessed, like why he can still remember so many details about this person, but other people that are important to us, we can't remember things. So yeah, it was wonderful. It was great. If you're not a huge nonfiction fan, he also does great audiobooks because he reads them. So if you find it in audio version, I always like that with humor too, because they always put their own, you can tell when they emphasize the humorous parts. So, but either way, I've read a lot of his things and he's really funny. So
excellent.
Yeah.
Speaking of audiobooks, I heard that the audiobook for Eleanor Oliphant is a woman with a Scottish accent. And then I found out our fan, Tammy, our friend and fan, she listened to that audiobook, but her version of Personal Hell is people with English and UK accents. And it's like, how'd you get past that? And she's like, I actually didn't mind it. So, another way to get into Eleanor Oliphant.
It's that life-changing.
Yeah.
You could overcome a huge obstacle like not liking an accent. I labeled that a huge obstacle. I like it.
She said once that she had to put on subtitles when there's British movies and stuff because she just can't even handle it. She mutes it and puts subtitles on.
I love the honesty in that so much.
You know what? That's what our podcast is all about. Honesty.
Yes.
When it comes to the books that we like and the reasons that we like them. And
it's just honesty.
We are truth tellers, Erin.
Yes. Yes, we are.
Yeah. That should be in our theme song.
I'm not going to BS you ever on this podcast.
That should be a line from our theme song. Truth tellers.
Oh.
Okay. I thought more words would come, but they weren't.
No,
they
weren't,
come.
but we get a beat. I think we're getting a hot beat. Oh, lay that beat down. I always know when
you heard it here first.
You always know what? When you're really into it because you do this one dance move. Like, it starts out slow and then, those shoulders go back. Amy's in. Amy's all in. But it makes me want to do that too. Yeah.
Moral of the story is I have no ability to control my face or my body, apparently. It is clear what's happening.
I don't care. If those are body convulsions, I'll take 20. They're hilarious.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
Moving on to pop culture.
Yeah. I can't wait to.
Well, I think you've watched this one too.
Oh, okay.
So as soon as we started talking about Eleanor Oliphant.
Oh my God, I almost picked this one.
Oh my God.
This episode. We were just in
Hive mind. Okay.
Oh my gosh.
So, man.
It was this close. I'm not kidding.
Oh
I
my
wrote it
gosh.
out and then I changed my mind.
Okay.
Wow.
This could have been a real interesting episode.
That would have
Just
been so weird.
Dual picks all the way.
Oh,
I mean,
man.
it kind of could have been.
It could have been.
Anyway,
Ooh.
the pick we're talking about is Dead to Me. It's a Netflix show starring Christina Applegate and Linda Cardellini.
So good.
So friggin' good. Jen, Christina Applegate, has recently lost her husband to a hit-and-run accident. She is prone to deal with her grief through some massive bouts of rage and some headbanging to death metal in her minivan. Minivan, SUV? I don't know. One of those.
Whatever.
Yeah. She goes to a grief group in LA and she meets Judy, who is Linda Cardellini, who's also grieving.
Mm-hmm.
Judy is kind of like your Earth Mother, bohemian stereotype lady, lots of crystals and, senses and auras and all that shit. Jen is your badass real estate bitch with, not taking any shit kind of thing. But somehow the two of them, they become friends through this bout with grief. What I really liked about it from our theme perspective is it is hilarious. I mean, it's
so
got
good.
both of these women that are just absolutely at the top of their game. The dynamic between them is super funny. Some men come into the picture that are also equally funny, but are mostly just playing off the two of them.
Yes.
It's wonderful. But it's also really deeply poignant and tough, too, because it's talking about grief. It's talking about losing your life partner, finding things out about people in your life that you may not know. It's really, really tough stuff. But ultimately, it's based in female friendship, too.
Yes.
How you can lean on one another during these times, how you can help each other, betray one another. It gets really, really intense. And one of the things I like about it, too, is from the very first episode, you think you're watching some kind of show, and then it sort of turns. And it keeps turning throughout each. I think there's maybe 8 episodes. It's real fast. Each one's like a half hour. It is just a ride. You really don't know where it's going. But it always has that balance of humor and really tough, hard stuff.
Yes.
Too. Yeah. What do you think about it?
I actually watched it on your recommendation. You
Yeah,
said
you
you have to
did.
check this out.
Yes.
And Mike and I binged it so fast because you can't. That's just it. Every episode there's a turn and then you have to know what's going on. And not like a turn like, those cheap like, cliffhanger type thing. No. This is like you couldn't see it coming. But it's also somehow you're like, I could see that happening.
Yes, it makes sense in a weird way.
Yes.
Yeah. And so you're just kind of along for the ride and you're ready to go wherever it takes you. And I think I saw it just got picked up for a season 2.
It did.
Which is excellent.
Yeah.
I hope they can keep this going.
Yeah.
And it kind of ended on sort of a cliffhanger, if you
Yes,
will.
it
So I'm
did.
glad it did get picked up.
Me too,
But yeah.
because I need to know what happens. And I loved that was a thing that you touched on that I think is really important too, is that the female friendship in there is so interesting because I like that they're kind of saying that it can also be a bond that doesn't have to be broken. That
Yes.
you can have this really strong relationship that can get past betrayals or get past some of the hard stuff and still just be there at the end of the day. So I loved that about it too.
Definitely.
And the two actresses, I mean, come on.
I love too that it's about 2 women in their 40s and it's just, people who have
Yes.
lived through some crap and, they're still strong and doing the best they can. It reminds me of Big Little Lies in a way, that show too, because it's women of a certain age that, it's a rare time for them to shine, and not be subsumed by some plot line with men.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Show is fantastic.
Yes.
Great
So
balance.
put it in your queue. Watch it
Yes.
tonight. Probably takes, a few hours.
Yeah.
Boom.
You'll want to just keep going. Then
Yes.
you'll be mad that there's not a second season.
You will.
You
but take heart. It's coming.
It's coming.
Probably in a couple years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're going to say here just
Yep.
to make ourselves feel better.
Sure.
Okay.
Okay.
We'll keep you updated.
You'll hear it here first.
Yeah. Probably not. It'll probably be way after
Probably
it
hear
comes out.
Because we have to hear about it first.
Yeah.
They're
And
not
we're
our
not-
friends yet.
Not yet.
They will
Once
be.
we get the inside scoop, then you can hear it
Yes.
first. Right now.
They'll be brought into our group.
We're kinda the
too.
outside
I
scoop.
think they'll appreciate you're crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You could write some of that stuff in.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Amazing. All right. So my pick is The Good Place.
Yes.
Which is a sitcom on NBC. It is dealing with some serious issues. We're talking about afterlife. We're talking about what makes a good person, what makes a bad person. So if you haven't heard of this, it came out in September 2016. It is season 3 is fully out. They have just wrapped season 4. It's not out yet, but that will be the last season of it. It follows Eleanor Shellstrop, who's played by Kristen Bell, who dies and is sent to the good place, they call it. So it's kind of this utopia. But you find out pretty quickly that she was sent there by mistake. Based on her life and her score/tally, she should have been sent to the bad place, but is mistaken, and a different Eleanor Shellstrop gets sent there, and she's there. So you find out that this whole world has been created, and she's there with these other people who start to realize that maybe they shouldn't be in the good place either. And they form a friendship, but really at the base of it, every episode is about what is a good person and a bad person? What actions do you take in this life that have an effect on an afterlife? What are your beliefs about afterlife? What's our obligation to help other people? What's our obligation to help other people in really dire situations? So it is so hilarious. It's incredibly well written. Their versions, if you want to watch it just for one thing, watch it just for their versions of hell, because it's hilarious.
Oh my
The things that they
God.
say automatically get someone sent to a bad place. Personalized license plates. All the Bachelor and Bachelorette contestants.
Watching the Red Hot Chili Peppers in concert.
These things are just it's so funny and so
really
well
good.
done. So well done. So the writing's great, humor's great, but the subject matter is actually really thought-provoking.
Very thought-provoking, definitely.
And they deal with a lot of really philosophical thoughts, authors, issues that you might have heard of before, or maybe you kind of have a general idea, but then they'll play it out really specifically. So good.
yeah, you learn a lot.
You do.
You don't mean to, but you do.
You do. You learn a lot.
You know what I liked about it too is we did an episode in a while back, Haters Gonna Hate, about characters that are just kind of terrible. And really, when it comes down to it, Eleanor Shellstrop is just a garbage bin of a person.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah.
And she fully admits it. I mean,
Yeah.
we see glimpses of the past life, which is
Glorious.
utterly wonderful.
Yeah. And then it's her kind of transformation of
Yes.
meeting other people. And so then that brings it up, by your actions, are you helping inspire someone else? There's so many layers of thoughts there. And if you're not into layers of thoughts, just watch it because it's funny.
Yes. It also introduced the world to Jamila Jamil, who, if you haven't followed her on social media, she is just a breath of fresh air in a world of crappy messages about women and their bodies.
Yes.
And, we did an episode a few weeks ago called Mirror Mirror about body image. Jamila Jamil started an account called I Weigh, where it's basically people sending pictures of themselves and saying, I weigh everything except their actual weight, like who they are as a person.
Oh, cool.
It's
I didn't know
really-
that.
Yeah, it's really incredible. And she will call out all the people on Instagram shilling diet teas and stuff like that.
Good for her.
She's wonderful.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll love the characters. It's so
Definitely.
great. Yeah. Wonderful.
Good show. Good picks.
Yeah, right?
All around. I think we nailed it.
We did.
And we chose the same thing.
And we almost
once,
chose the
and
same
we
thing
almost
all the way
changed-
down.
Yeah, we
That's
really
crazy.
did. Yeah.
That's nuts.
What
right
would we
there.
call, because maybe that'll happen someday. Is that like a triple crown or something?
Yeah,
that
that's going to have
happens?
to be, because
Yeah.
I don't think that's going to happen a lot. I think we might, it took till 18 for
It
us
did.
to pick the same one.
Yeah.
But
Also, there was times in the past, like you almost chose Bitch Planet once,
but I
you
knew,
Yeah.
yeah, I think that there could be some other moments where we pick the same one, but to get all three,
There's like a scorecard or something
Yes.
in the mix here where,
Yeah.
we hit one, there's potential for three.
I'm saying if we come, by pure not planning that we pick the same three, there's going to be some kind of crazy listener giveaway.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah.
Like giving away a heated cat bed.
Yes. A random giveaway, but yes. Perfect.
Your own podcast.
Right.
Oh,
Oh,
we
no,
can
they're
give
not
away
human
podcast.
size? I thought they were human size. Okay. All right. That's
Should I
better.
give away Podcat?
Oh.
No, I'm kidding. Although she's peeing outside her litter box, so I'm kind of up for giving her away at this point.
Well, and here's the other thing. I mean, I'm looking around. I make sure I don't say this within earshot of Podcat, but Podcat's like, it's it's a love that grows.
Yes.
So
yes.
I'm not sure you give it away. I'm afraid there might be a return policy pretty
That's
quick.
true. Yeah, I think I would see Podcat return to me real fast. And to be fair, it took Podcat 2 weeks to warm up to me. She hid under my bed for a good 2 weeks.
I'm still in the incubation period of warming up. I mean, she's actively trying to kill me,
Yes.
but outside of that, I feel like what I'm going to go ahead and take as the thaw is that the active attempts to kill me are maybe like every other time.
Yeah.
And I don't know if that's because it's getting hotter, so she's just tired,
Yeah,
or
I think that may be it.
she's just stealing.
I really
with
want to
it.
murder you, but I don't want to get hot.
Oh, yeah.
I'm just going to go and curl up somewhere cool.
Which actually makes me like you more, Podcat, because I have that same feeling. When it's hot and humid, I'm like, I'm not doing anything.
Although I do want to murder more people when I'm hot and humid.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Murdery.
Very murdery.
Yeah.
Hope
Murdery
this doesn't
weather.
I hope this doesn't come back to bite us in the ass
No,
or be used
I
in a
think
court
that
situation.
a lot. Like, I
Yeah.
think if I ever have a Dateline, this is going to be. These
They're
are
gonna
things they're going
comb
to
through
say.
our back episodes, and really, you've implicated yourself a lot in a number of ways.
Yeah, I really have. And Mike, I do it all the time because Mike will say, like, they're going to use that against you. And I'm like, you're right. Dang it. But only if you tell them. So what are you saying? Are you giving me up? What?
Mike,
I know.
don't even think about it.
Don't. I'm serious.
Yeah,
I know where you live.
because I live there too.
Yeah.
You sleep in
Put
the
a
same
heated
bed.
cat bed under your side of the bed and just watch you be like, why am I so hot?
It's a very elaborate revenge plan.
Think about
Yeah.
it, though.
Yeah,
Think about how
it'd be
frustrating
tough.
that would be. And
Be
then
real
you'd be
tough.
like, oh, your side of the bed's cool, but mine's warm. Why? What is happening? I don't
Oh,
understand.
he'll think he's going through male menopause.
Yeah. I'm like, you don't have a fever. You feel very
Oh,
cool
man,
to me. What's
your
happening?
hormones must be
What?
changing.
What
Yeah.
happened to
You're going
you?
through the change.
It's that time of the month.
Oh, that'll be great. He'll understand what it feels like when someone questions you. Because, oh, are your hormones active? Is it your time of the month?
Yeah. No, just because I cried and laughed at the same time just
And
means that
peed.
you're awkward. That's why I'm doing that. And my pee business is my business, okay? Just because you can see it on the outside of my pants doesn't give you the right to comment on it, okay?
Everybody has pee pants when it
Yeah.
comes down to it. Let's be honest.
Yes.
What a great way to end our episode.
Pee pants for everyone.
Pee pants for everyone.
Great. Great end. Oh, man. We're so good at this.
So friggin' good at this.
Well, if you want more pee pants,
awkward
so
things. many more.
more church giggles,
Awkward things.
more heated cat beds,
Our theme song is going to come soon.
we'll be back next Wednesday.
Yep.
In the meantime, though, you can head to our website, broadsandbooks.com, and you can check out all the recommendations we made in this episode, as well as all the other episodes. You can make sure that you checked every box and listened to everyone.
Man. Yeah. Because that's prize-worthy in and of itself.
Yeah, it is.
Listening to every single one. And one of those that you'll be listening to when you go to our website is our most recent bonus material.
Yes!
We did a whole road trip episode talking about rules for road trips and even made a playlist. I mean, like
about
we said
giving.
before, we are full service.
We are. Every time you say that, I think, are we? But yeah, we are. Woo.
In this context, we are full service.
Amy says it with such a straight face, like it doesn't have any other meaning.
Oh, no, it totally does.
Oh, okay. No, she's willing. All right, that's fine. Now I understand it on a different level. She's actually willing to be full
I am.
service. All right,
I
well,
am.
That's great. Okay.
That's how committed I am to this podcast. Are you committed to this
You
podcast?
damn right I am. That's what it takes. And I am too.
Great.
So, while you're there listening
Yeah.
to that amazing bonus material, I'm thinking, these gals, they really are full service. I should tell everyone.
Yeah.
That's follow that instinct.
Yeah.
That is what you should do.
Yeah.
You should give us a 5-star rating, maybe write a little ditty, write a little note.
Yeah.
Anything though, really. You can
Absolutely.
Apple Podcasts makes it real easy. You can just swipe over and do it. The other ones, sometimes you have to go to a website. Go to our website and leave a review.
Oh my God.
It's
Yes.
pure joy for us.
Maybe don't start with the full service part, but if that's what's enticing you,
Yeah.
hey,
Lead with
we
that.
don't
I don't
judge.
care.
I know.
I don't care.
Yeah, we don't care.
That's fine.
You know what else we want to hear? Any ideas you have. Now, we're talking full theme ideas. We've
Yes.
already produced a few episodes based on listener-suggested themes. Even if you have an idea just for a certain genre, you have a
Yes.
book you want us to talk about, bring it.
Yes.
Hey, if you write music, you want to write us a theme song? Holy shit, we would be willing to accept that.
That you mind blown.
Yeah.
It's like brain matter back there because
Yeah.
that would be incredible.
That'd be amazing. Wow. I want someone to do it now.
I do too.
I also want someone to like create art of us, like fan art.
Oh,
That could be, used in our on our website. It could be used everywhere.
it could be.
Yeah.
I would take that.
So get out there, world.
Come on. Do our bidding.
Represent us.
Yes. And you can do that. You can find us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, on our website. We're not hiding.
No, we are waiting.
We are out there.
Yeah. So until then, happy reading.
I'm up again. Same night, another dream. Before trying this recording thing, I didn't remember much of anything of these dreams. I didn't remember much from any of the women. And one night of doing this, and it's broken things open. The dreams they're in me, and they're coming out of me, and
Talk to me. I am not broken. I am the most whole, most real.
cause their despair. I wait for the word. Witch.
Look at the mad woman in her cage. She was a woman with holes inside her. That was the heaviest factor, the final evidence, the heart of the issue.
Somehow, you understand this. You hear me. Wherever you are, whatever this is, you... This isn't a dream journal anymore. It's not. It's just fact. Because now this is some sort of record. What are these dreams? Maybe there's a better question. Who are these women? Weird Woman is a Broads and Books production. All 9 episodes are available January 10th. Listen and subscribe to Weird Woman on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and your favorite podcast platform. That's WYRD Woman, wherever you listen to podcasts.